What's going on YouTube? In today's video, we're going to talk about something that honestly nobody is paying attention to. And I think that could be one of the reasons that the trucking business is loaded up with people from all over the world. When I mean all over the world, it's Africa, India, China, Pakistan, and other different countries. They are able to build themselves a successful business across the world and make money in America, and at some point kick some American truckers, dispatcher, or brokers out of business. And it's one company that have the power to stop it. But why is it they're not doing anything about it? So if you're new to this channel, I've been talking about trucking, and I also talk about DIY, and I talk about product review and different contents. I don't concentrate on one content on my channel, so consider subscribing, because now that I'm off trucking for a little bit, I have time to come up with a lot of videos. So most of you guys who get into the trucking business, who already into it, could learn from my mistakes and other different information that could be very helpful to you guys. Okay, but let's jump into it. Okay, when it comes to trucking, I feel like everybody have to play some type of dirty games in order to make themselves big money, right? But there are a company out there that have the power to stop all these scams, double broking, dispatcher from all across the world. They have the power to stop it. But why is it they're not doing anything about it? Okay, when I first got into trucking, Amazon used to be very flexible. Like, you sign up today, you get your DOT number, and you got your MC, and you call insurance. If your MC is active, the next day you can call Amazon, boom, you have access to that logo just like that. And Amazon realized that it was costing them lots of money. So at the end of the day, Amazon came out with a solution by getting rid of that. So now, as we speak in 2024, moving forward, you can no longer have access to Amazon logo unless you're at least 6 months in the business. So what does that mean? It means that Amazon were giving access to many people, many unprofessional people, to jump into the business. And it was costing them a lot of money, like I said earlier. So now Amazon have their little policy that you have to be at least 6 months in order to have access to that logo. In order to keep your authority active for 6 months, you have to be able to move a load. You have to be able to work for somebody. You have to be able to negotiate with somebody that already into the trucking business. Say, hey, I got my authority, but I'm brand new. Can I work under your MC? Therefore, that person, you and that person can sign an owner-operator agreement. He will book load, give it to you, and you're going to deliver. But he's the one being responsible. So that right there can keep you in business until you are 6 months old to work for Amazon. And Amazon also came out with another system, what they call VPN detection. If you guys don't know VPN, it's very important. If you travel a lot, you go to the airport or train station, you definitely want to have a VPN on your phone, because what happened is that when you enable your VPN before connecting to the public Wi-Fi, what will happen? The VPN will script your IP address. Every devices that connect to the internet have an IP address, and based on the IP address, they can locate what is that device accessing the internet from. And also based on the IP address, hackers can use that to hack into your phone. So next time you traveling or connecting to a public Wi-Fi, you want to consider subscribing to one of those VPN. They are very cheap. So enable your VPN before you connect to public Wi-Fi, just to protect your privacy. So now Amazon have the policy, what is called use of VPN could lead to account suspension. So now if you're using VPN on Amazon Relay logo, if Amazon detect that, they will suspend your account. So now Amazon have a lot of cool stuff that kicking a lot of people out of business. A lot of people that are based overseas, because this is the thing. Someone that based in Africa, China, India, Pakistan, in order to access the Amazon logo, they have to first connect to the VPN. When they connect to the VPN, then they can choose their location, which is the United States. When you connect to VPN, you can choose any country as your location. So now Amazon has banned that system. If they detect that you're using a VPN in order to access the logo, they will suspend your account. So now that means someone that lives across the ocean can no longer use the Amazon Relay logo to book load for anybody. Because what used to happen is that people have access to Amazon logo across the ocean and they book load, giving it to other people here in America. There are people that have the Amazon Relay account, but they're not competent to book load. They don't know how to use it. So therefore, they contact somebody maybe across the ocean, somebody that they know, somebody like they can pay cheap to do nothing, but just watch the logo all night long for them. Then they book load. Because there are a lot of people that have 4, 5, 6, 7 trucks. But as an owner of the truck, you don't have time to watch the logo. I used to do that. You don't have time to do that. So you need to hire somebody to do that. So what happened, this owner that based in America hire somebody in Pakistan to watch the logo for them to book load for their trucks. But in order for someone that in Pakistan to access that logo, even though that they have the login and they have the permission from the owner of the company that based in America, but for them in Pakistan to have access to that logo, they have to connect to the VPN, change their location to United States. So Amazon cannot tell if it's someone in Pakistan that actually accessing the logo. So now Amazon realized that a lot of people were booking load from all over the world. Now they came with a VPN detection. If they detect that, your account could be suspended. So now there are a lot of people, like I said earlier, that have 4, 5, 6 trucks that are going out of business because they themselves that owns the company can no longer sit there and book the load for their drivers. So do you see why it said that many people are going out of business in trucking, especially when it comes to Amazon Relay? Because Amazon introduced the VPN detection. But when we come to over the road, there are a lot of other companies that have requirement, brokers, they have requirement, Landstar, and some other companies that I work with, they have requirement that you have to be active. Your MC have to be active for at least 1 year in the business in order for them to consider working with you. But when it comes to logo, we have DAT, and we have another logo called Selectus. You see, Selectus, it used to be the great logo. Selectus had a really good policy in place. And because of that, Selectus has a lot of big customers by then, not anymore. So Selectus requirement is that you need to have 5 trucks at least in order for Selectus to consider working with you. So these 5 trucks have to be insured under your company in order for Selectus to start working with you. At some point, if I'm not mistaken, Selectus has the 1-year policy. Your company have to be in business for at least 1 year, if I'm not mistaken on that part. In order for you to have access to Selectus logo. So Selectus used to be $500 a month. But people that could afford Selectus back then were making themselves a lot of money. So what happened is that they're a small trucking company and they also have a different department that they use to dispatch. So they have Selectus as a logo, then they hire individual owner-operator who brand new. Like I said earlier, when you're brand new, you have to find somebody to work under the MC so that they can give you load to keep you moving in order for you to be 1 year or maybe more or whatever. So these companies that have this department as a dispatcher, what they do, they hire small, brand new owner-operators and they work under their MC. So they use their MC, book load, and give it to the new owner-operators to go deliver them. So they were being very profitable because of the fact that they have access to Selectis Lobo. Because when you go on Selectis Lobo, not everybody have access to Selectis Lobo. Therefore, the lows on Selectis were very, very high pay low. And this guy used to make themselves a lot of money. They book low, they charge you 15% for being under their authority and everything. So then we have DAT in the other hand. But keep in mind that DAT been around longer enough than Selectis. But for the fact that Selectis were having big customers, so what could DAT do in order to control the market? To have an open platform. DAT have an open platform. When I mean open platform, it's like anybody welcome to have access to our Lobo. And I think that was one of the biggest mistakes. DAT might not know, or they know, but they just don't care because that's the way they're going to make their money. So let me break it down for you. Okay, DAT in the other hand, I remember when I became active back in 2021, what did I do? The same day that I became active, I grabbed the phone, I called DAT. The same day, I got myself a Lobo. Do you see how could that mess up the trucking business? So somebody overseas, for example, all they need, if they want to create a dispatching company, and that's one of the reasons today you can no longer find a real American dispatcher. All the dispatcher you're working with now, they're based overseas. And why is that? It's because all you need to have access to the DAT Lobo is a DOT, Department of Transportation number. So once you have your DOT number, you call DAT Lobo, they give you access to the Lobo. All you have to do is choose the plan that suits your budget. You are done. So people got into the trucking business. A lot of people from overseas, they find out that, hey, all I need is the Lobo in order to claim to be a dispatcher. And they sit in Africa, other different countries, booking low for people. In the meantime, there are a lot of good dispatchers in America that could be dispatching here for American trucking company. But that market has been swapped away by people from overseas. I'm not against anybody making that money in America, but my problem is that people that are based in America, that pays taxes in America, they need to protect them. They need to protect their investment. They need to protect the taxpayer in America. Instead of making it easy for somebody that lives across the ocean making money and not paying taxes to the U.S. government. Because I know this dispatching company that I mentioned earlier, they have 4, 5, 6 people in their offices that booking low for owner-operators. And these dispatchers get paid $10.99 or whatever the case might be, maybe per hours. What will happen? They will pay taxes to the government. They will pay payroll taxes. But now, that business has been swiped away by people from overseas. Because DAT make it so easy for anybody to have access to the Lobo. Do you think with all the money and all the control that DAT have on the market, do you think that they don't have what it takes to make it hard for someone coming from overseas to have access to the Lobo? They have it. But if they do that, they're going to lose a lot of money. They're going to lose a lot of money because a dispatching company based in India, for example, in order for them to have 4 to 5, 6, 7 people accessing the same account, dispatching for multiple people, they have to increase their package. So let's say, for example, your subscription is $100 a month. So if I want for my wife or my daughter to join me on the same account to dispatch for multiple drivers, I have to pay an extra $100. That means it's $200. So if I need another person to join, that's 3. That would be $300. So the more people you add, the more money it becomes. So that right there could make DAT go out of business if they make it complicated for people overseas. Do you want to tell me that DAT don't know that people that accessing the Lobo based in other country, they know it, but they don't want to do that. Do you want to tell me that DAT don't have what it takes to come with VPN detection like Amazon did? To detect if somebody is using VPN could lead to account suspension like Amazon. DAT have the power to do that. DAT have the power to come out with the restriction. Hey, from now on, any customer that use VPN, you or your account, whatever, going to be banned from DAT product. If DAT come out with that, what will happen? A lot of these people that base, the dispatching company that based overseas, they will no longer have access to DAT account, to DAT logo. Therefore, that $500, $600, $700 that they're paying every month, DAT will lose that money. So DAT don't see themselves doing that. But I find it wrong because this is the reason that we have a lot of double broker issue today, because a broker that based overseas, a lot of brokers based overseas, a lot of brokers based overseas. You want to ask me how do they become broker? It's easy. All you have to do is go online and take the broker courses. You pay your money. Those guys overseas have money. They have people. They design their business strategy. They say, hey, for example, if I live overseas and I know that if I become a broker or a dispatching company, I will make money. All I need is a business plan and go introduce that to some old dude that have a lot of money and say, hey, this is the business strategy. If you help me open this business, it could be a very profitable business. They will invest into it. They will pay me tuition to go for the broker courses. It's online. You don't have to live in America. And once you have the broker certificate or whatever, those things you can print it. They don't have to mail it up to you. You print it. Once you have that, that's it. All you have to do now is reach out to customers. And these guys, they are very advanced in computer. I said it in many of my other videos. They can reach out to a shipper and hack into the American brokers system and see that shipper information, how much they charge in the shipper and all of that, and use this information and go to the shipper and say, hey, I realize that this broker is charging you $5,000, $10,000 from New York to California. What if I tell you I could do that for you, $5,000 instead of $10,000? Now these days, everybody are trying to cut their cost of operating. So the shipper will say, oh yeah, if he can do it for me for $5,000 instead of me paying $10,000 to the other broker, oh, you got the contract. For them, it's nothing because they live overseas. Their bills are very minimum. Their rent is very cheap. Everything is cheap for them. So if you send $5 in Africa to my family in Africa, it can feed the entire family for the day. But how much $5 will buy for you here in America? Not even a cheeseburger anymore. So that tells you that somebody that live overseas, if they can convince a shipper to give them a contract for $5,000 instead of $10,000, that's a lot of money for them. And that's many reasons why many American brokers are going out of business, because overseas brokers are taking away their contract. And the similar situation comes to American dispatcher. So if DAT want for the American dispatcher to have power back into the dispatching and the American brokers to have their power, they need to install VPN detection. If they do that, they're going to lose so much money, but also they're going to sweep everyone that don't belong into the trucking business. I know a lot of people are not going to like this video, but at the end of the day, I tell you guys, now that I'm home, not because I don't have anything to do, but I'm enjoying my family. Now that I'm home, I can talk about so much more. Now that I'm home, I can talk about so much more. So if you guys want to hear a lot of information coming from trucking, you want to like and subscribe, because I'm here to give you guys more information. Because the thing in trucking is that if you learn how to talk lies to people on YouTube, you become successful. You become successful. You get partnership left and right. I got emails from truck stop wanted to partner with me. I never responded to that. Why? Because if the business is not good for me, why should I promote something to other people to go in it? Other people are just like me. They have kids, wife, family. So why should I promote them to go out there to mess up their investment? No, I'm not doing it. So I didn't respond to Truckstop offer. So I'm telling you, one of the reasons that car manufacturers are making better and better and better cars every day is because they have so much car reviewer. So they get to criticize the manufacturer. They say, I wish the manufacturer could do this better. I wish they could do this. I wish they could install this. I wish they can do that. And this company listen to this reviewer. And based on that, we are getting nicer and nicer car every year. So in the trucking business, if we as a YouTuber could come to a point where we can at least address these companies to do better, I think the trucking industry will be better, because it's one of the bigger industry in America that everybody underestimates. Without a truck, your food in the grocery store is not going to be on time. So why is it we are underestimating that business? So we need to review, we need to criticize this company so they can do better. I'm not trying to point finger at DAT, but what I'm trying to make here is that DAT will have what it takes to make the trucking business better. All they have to do is to come up with some policy. Do not just get a DOT number today and then tomorrow you have access to the DAT logo. You need to be active at least 6 months. Do it just like Amazon. At least 6 months in the business in order to have access to the DAT account. Why is it DAT did not follow selected strategy? You need to have at least 5 trucks in order to have access to the DAT account. Why? But they did it in an open platform that anybody overseas could have access to the DAT account. Somebody overseas, all they need is somebody here in America. Okay? And those people overseas, they are pretty advanced in computer. Not just Pakistan. You go Africa, you go Nigeria. These kids out there are so great in computer. You're not going to imagine, especially in Nigeria. So all they need is access somebody information, phone number, and call you. Say, hey, I got this business, but I can offer you this if you can do this for me. If you're in the need of money, you're going to listen to him. Okay, I need somebody to open an LLC for me. And if you open an LLC, you're going to open your DOT account because I want to get into the trucking business. This is what in it for you. Like I said earlier, they could have that business plan and introduce that to somebody that can finance that business plan, and they'll be able to pay somebody to open an LLC, somebody that may be sick and tired of the business. He want to make himself some money. They contact that person and say, hey, all I need for you to do is open an LLC for me and open a DOT number for me, right? Now, he have all the information out there. Now, he can go on DOT logo, booking load, being a dispatcher, open a big dispatching company, hire more people, more good Nigerian kids or whatever kids. What I'm saying Nigeria is not just Nigeria though. Kids that have computer skill, hire them, say, hey, all you have to do, sit here, book load, whatever, and they pay them cheap. And trust me, now all they're gonna do now, grab phone number, call every owner operator. I'm pretty sure many of you guys already experiencing that. People call you from different days. Yes, sir, we are Highway Express Dispatch. We are this amount of dispatch. We can make you $5,000 to $10,000 in a week. All you have to do is pay $250 a week. Okay, somebody make you $5,000 in a week, and all you have to do is pay him $200. That's, man, I am not going to say no to that. I'm not going to say no to that. Trust me, they will make you $5,000 a week. But you think that $200 is nothing to you in America, but it's a lot of money to them in Africa or China or whatever. So every week, if they're able to get $200 from 4, 5, 6, 7 to 10 owner operators. You want to tell me how much money they're making in a week? How much money they're making in a week? If 5 owner operator paying $200, that's $1,000 a week. If 10 owner operator paying $200, that's $2,000 a week. If I'm good in math, right? $2,000 a week for someone that's sitting in Africa or Pakistan or whatever. That's big business right there for them. So what's going to happen now? The American dispatcher, owner operator is going to start firing the American dispatcher. Hey man, you charging me 15% or you charging me 10%? I got someone that can only do this deal for $200. Deal done. So my advice and my requirement to DAT is you have what it takes to stop double broking, double dispatching, or illegal dispatching, all of this stuff. Try to install a VPN detection. You have what it takes to do all of that. This is your boy from Africa. I will catch you guys in the next video. I got more video to come. If you guys in the trucking business and you need to listen to the true story, you want to consider following the channel. If you're about to get into trucking business, but you need to understand what you need to understand in order to get into it so you don't get yourself into trouble, you want to follow for more. For now, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.